Yes, sir. I have mine ready.
Right, so we had Siddharth starting up last week, so this time it's going to be Tanishwar. Tanishwar, is it a video presentation or it's only the PPT?
It's both. So I just need to set my camera.
Okay, so we have to tell you that your voice is very, very muffled, so can you fix it up?
I'll get headphones.
You are using headphones.
No, I'm not using any headphones right now.
I'm afraid you have to use it because we are not hearing properly, and in case of making a presentation, you have to fix it.
So,
Right, so there's yourselves, Tanishwar is making his video presentation, and then we will have question session, and then we'll move to Siddharth.
Yes, sir.
Action Siddharth.
Yes,
Action.
yes, sir.
So you watched a Spider-Man movie and you got excited and you changed your profile picture.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Tanishwar, people are waiting for you.
can you hear me better, sir?
Much better.
Okay.
Right,
Can
you can
you?
start.
Okay. Can everyone see me?
Uh, am I the only one not
Not,
seeing or?
no, I can't see, sir.
I got disconnected. Can you see me now?
Yes, I am able to see you.
Yes, not sure.
Right,
Okay.
okay. You're good to start, Tanishwar. Go ahead. Three, two, one, go.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, not sure.
Okay. So this week I did my presentation on computers. So computers, you should know what
Uh,
computers are.
Tanishwar,
Yes, sir.
so you have turned the video off and you have put on the PPT alone. Is that right? Or both?
Sir, it's not letting me turn on my video when I'm
That's okay.
sharing.
Yeah, you can go ahead with this PPT. No problem.
Okay. Okay. So computers are used almost every day now, and by more than millions of people around the world, and they're pretty much necessary for everyday needs, and they're used to access and use many applications. And some things the computer can do are programming, accessing the internet, playing games, using social media, and all that stuff. And then, especially with when came, COVID-19, people relied on technology because of online classes and stuff. So, so the first computer was made in 1883. It was called the analytical engine, and it wasn't like it's not very interesting hardware. but it also wasn't meant to do many things. And then just as the name said, it's analytical, so it was only used for doing like math problems and things like that. And the whole thing was made out of logic gates and booleans, and the machine, all like the components and hardware took up like the whole room. So it was a very like big thing. And then in 1960 people started making computer hardware and stuff that we use today. And then in 1984, Apple made the first ever desktop computer that could fit on your desk, and this was called the Macintosh. And this was completely revolutionary when it released, and then it also, made other companies start making computers too. So on the right here, that's the Macintosh, and then on the left is the analytical engine. Okay, CPU. CPU, or the central processing unit, which is what it stands for. It's pretty much the brain of a computer. It tells the computer what to do, and it gives instructions to all of the parts, and it executes actions. And then it also allows your computer to interact with all of your applications and data, and it outputs what you did based on your instructions. And this is the most like important part, because if this didn't exist, a computer cannot exist. And a better and newer CPU just means more performance and speed while using a computer. And then the main brands for CPUs are Intel and AMD. So if you're using like a laptop, it probably has like one of these CPUs. Okay, RAM. So RAM, or random access memory, is a form of computer memory that can be read or changed in any order. It basically changes the priority of applications that may require higher performance to run. So if there's an app that, you know, it uses up all of your computer memory, like if it requires a powerful system, and if you need like a lot of data going into it, it'll put that as the priority, and it will put more data going that way. And this is really helpful, because if instead of it being random, if it goes where it goes, it will, the the application will run well. But if it's just random and it, messes up other things, then it's a bad thing. And so RAM with best performance is like the one with the most storage and one with the lowest CL timing. CL is just column address strobe, which just like how fast it like registers all the stuff. And then it's measured in megahertz, I'm pretty sure. And then RAM can be bought in either dual channels or quadruple channels. And then quadruple channels allow you to spread more data across, which just increases performance. Okay, a GPU, or graphics processing unit. Uh, it's a device that is used to display the video of what's happening on the computer. It alters like the memory to change the speed of images being created, and then it also outputs the pixels required. All these instructions, they're all given by the CPU, and it tells the GPU what to display. And a better GPU, it just means better performance with better quality graphics, and it's also going to be faster. And I mean, a good graphics card, it's only like relevant if people play video games, edit videos, or using any heavy programs, where like graphics matter. So your computer might have one. And then NVIDIA and AMD are the most well-known GPU brands. And then a fun fact is that Intel CPUs, like some Intel CPUs, they have a built-in GPU, which means you might not need a separate GPU. But just like I just said, if you're having like any heavy programs or anything, you might need one. So over here on the left is the NVIDIA GPU, and then on the right is the AMD. And then my friend, he put his iPad under a microscope, and then this is what it looked like. So what it does, it just puts the pixels on the screen. Motherboard. It is the central hub of all parts in the computer. It directly connects them to each other and then at like one spot, and then it allows the CPU to communicate with all the parts and pass them instructions. The motherboard is like the backbone of a computer, and better motherboards help communicate faster, and different motherboards and like so the better motherboards help communicate faster, and different motherboards are like compatible with different things. Like Intel CPUs, they're compatible with like one set of motherboards, and like AMD CPU, they're compatible with another set. So, and many things like RAM, storage, and other parts like the GPU, they go on the motherboard. And then there's also connects like external ports, like such as USB, HDMI, and like audio jack and stuff. And this is what a motherboard looks like. Storage. And then storage is very important to a computer. It stores all data, which includes like program data and like files, folders, and like important documents. And your storage also stores the boot drive, which is what the computer uses. And then this has folders like System32, program files, syswow64, and like your operating system is also stored on it. And all these files, it's only like relevant for Windows. I don't know what it's on for like Mac. And then there are a few types of storage units. There's SSD, uh, which is a solid straight state drive. There's HDD, which is a hard disk drive, and a more portable option is a USB, but which just stands for Universal Serial Bus, and you can't really use it as a boot drive because it's probably very slow. So SSDs are the fastest, and HDDs like are slowest for boot drives. And there's a special type of SSD called M.2 SSD, which is a very fast SSD, and your computer will start up really quickly, and any program stored on that drive will also open very quickly. There's also a regular SSD, and that's also pretty quick. And then HDDs are the slowest, so they're measured by something called RPM, which is called revolutions per minute. A higher RPM will be faster to transfer data, and even if it's really high, it doesn't go to the speed as like an M.2, uh, M.2 SSD or like a regular SSD. But the good thing about HDD is like you can get like a large amount of storage for really cheap. You get like a 2 terabyte storage for like $50, but if you buy like an M.2 SSD for just like 500, that'd be over $100 because they're really expensive. So over here, this is an M.2, this is a regular SSD, and this is an HDD. And then these are just some parts that are self-explanatory. The CPU cooler, which is both of these, and it just cools the CPU. And there are two types of coolers. There's air and water cooling is more efficient for heavy CPUs. And uh over here, this is an air cooler and this is a water cooler. And then there are fans, and fans are needed to suck air into the case and exhaust air out, so it keeps all the parts like safe and cool. And then the power supply unit is where all the it supplies power to all the components in the computer, and it makes them work. This is the part that connects to like the wall, and you switch it on, and then the whole computer will start up. And then the case is where all the parts are held together. So these are the two coolers. These are the fans. This is the case, and this is the power supply. And then that's where you plug it in, and then you plug that into the wall, and then you press that switch that's on the side. And that's my presentation.
Great job, Nashwar.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Great job,
Thank
Tanish.
you, good. Thank you, everyone.
Friends, am I audible?
Yes, Guru.
You are-
Okay, friends.